Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're tearing into a deeply provocative idea that is fundamentally reshaping the modern enterprise. I know we hear the exact same narrative all the time, right? AI is coming for jobs. But we are looking way beyond simple job automation today. We're looking at the very architecture of how businesses are run.
AI agents will replace management layers. Boom. Right there, that is our core thesis for today. Now, actually, let me be super clear right off the bat. This is definitely not a prediction that human managers are just going to completely disappear. We are always going to need leadership, accountability, and real human judgment. But what happens when an artificial intelligence becomes fully capable of coordinating work, monitoring performance, and orchestrating execution across an entire global organization? Well, the structure of management, as we know it today, is going to change dramatically.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for the explainer. We'll start with the real AI target, take a hard look at our inherited management model, and unpack the sheer power of AI agents. After that, we'll hit the new role of leadership, and finally, the redesign imperative. Let's get into it.
All right, part 1, the real AI target. We really need to look way beyond basic task automation.
Look, we've got to toss out that tired AI is coming for your job narrative. If you're just looking at AI as some neat little tool to, crank out emails faster or summarize your Zoom calls, you are entirely missing the earthquake that's coming. The true target isn't the individual job itself. It's the space between the jobs. It's the coordinating, the monitoring, the orchestrating. While top-level leadership and human judgment remain absolutely essential, the structural layers built specifically for that kind of connective tissue, the middle layers of the enterprise, are sitting directly in the crosshairs.
So, moving on to part 2, our inherited management model. This is a design that is literally decades old. To really see where we're headed, we have to look at the blueprint we are currently trapped in. And honestly, it's a blueprint drafted way before the internet was even a thing. Just think about traditional management tasks. Status meetings, reporting, escalations, endless follow-ups. Just saying that list out loud is exhausting, right? I mean, we've all sat through those meetings that definitely, 100%, could have been an email. And sure, while these activities do create organizational control, they also create massive organizational friction. But we have to give credit where it's due, and remember why we built things this way. Back in the day, information moved like molasses. Visibility was practically zero. So managers literally had to be the connective tissue of the enterprise. They acted as human routers, filtering data, translating strategy, keeping an eye on execution, and physically getting separated teams to work together. For a long time, they were the absolute only way to hold a massive organization together. Which brings us to part 3, the power of AI agents. This is where we talk about completely neutralizing that organizational friction. So, what exactly happens when intelligent systems can just do all of that connective work instantly? To answer that, we first need to lock in on what an AI agent actually is. We're talking about an intelligent system that goes way past basic predefined rules. It can observe, analyze, recommend, coordinate, and act. Forget the old if this then that style of automation. These agents are dynamic. They totally get context, and they can literally initiate actions all on their own. It all happens in this staccato rapid-fire loop. Observe, analyze, recommend, coordinate. Boom, boom, boom. Imagine an AI agent keeping tabs on execution across, say, hundreds of totally distinct teams. It spots a risk weeks before it happens. It analyzes the dependencies, recommends exactly how to reallocate your resources, and then instantly coordinates the whole pivot. And it pulls us off at a scale and a speed that humans simply cannot match. No way. And this brilliantly illustrates a massive macro shift. For literal decades, organizations have been structured as information hierarchies, completely relying on human managers acting as these slow, manual filters. But now, we're hurtling toward intelligence networks. Information is available instantly, insights are generated continuously, and coordination happens on the fly, dynamically.
All right, part 4, the new role of leadership, or as I like to call it, the rebirth of the manager.
Okay, we've got to face a somewhat uncomfortable truth here. As these intelligence networks take over all that coordination, the middle management layer is absolutely going to shrink, at least for those folks whose only job is reporting and coordinating. But look at the stark contrast in capabilities. Sure, AI can optimize a global supply chain in seconds, but it cannot create organizational purpose. It might recommend a brilliant strategy, but it definitely cannot inspire a demoralized team or look an employee in the eye and build genuine trust. The manager of the future is going to spend way less time gathering data and vastly more time focusing on real human performance.
Because all that heavy operational lifting is being handled by machines, human leadership actually becomes so much more critical, not less. It's shifting entirely to the stuff machines just can't touch. We're talking vision, direction, ethics, culture, innovation, adaptability. The leaders who double down on coaching, navigating complex decision-making, and genuinely driving culture, they are going to be more valuable than ever before.
This takes us to our final section, Part 5, the redesign imperative. This is the ultimate C-suite challenge.
Here is the harsh reality. A lot of companies are looking at AI completely upside down. They're treating it like some shiny new gadget to just bolt on to their clunky legacy structures, focusing entirely on surface-level productivity, writing emails a bit faster, automating a weekly summary. But, guys, that does not transform a company. The real opportunity here is treating AI as fundamental organizational infrastructure. It's about literally redesigning how decisions get made and how work flows from the ground up.
So, here's the critical challenge I want to throw right at you today. Stop asking, how do we deploy AI? Honestly, that is just a basic tech adoption question. The real question, the one you should be obsessing over, is how should our organization look when AI is deeply embedded into absolutely every single process? I mean, if your coordination friction suddenly drops to zero, why on earth do you still have 5 layers of management sitting between your CEO and your customer?
The companies that actually win in this next era, they aren't just going to automate their existing broken structures. That's a trap. They are going to rethink those structures entirely. The winning strategy here is pretty clear. The future belongs to the organizations that can seamlessly combine that deep, empathetic human leadership with the frictionless, dynamic coordination of machine intelligence. I want to leave you with one final thought. The technology, it's already here, and it is actively neutralizing the very friction that forced you to build your current org chart in the first place. So the question isn't whether AI will change management. It already is. The urgent, pressing question for you and your leadership team right now is, how quickly are you willing to rethink the organization itself? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Take a hard look at your own structures this week, and we'll see you next time.